Hi everyone, welcome back to WHU TV live on Facebook and Periscope. My name is John, your host as always, and I hope you're doing well as I always do under these very, very difficult circumstances. Get me right in the frame center. Hope you're all doing okay. And as you saw from the intro, let me know what you think about the intro as well, for that matter. I thought I'd make it a little bit clear because it seems to be confusing people over the last few days what this format is. If you're just joining us, welcome. And it's good to see you. It's good to see you all. As I said, as you saw from the intro, the video, this is an open Q&A, so you can ask me anything. I've got of course, I've got West Ham related questions there for you. But yes, let's see who's about. Hi Ben, good to see you. I'm all right, mate. Hope you are as well. Nick's back again. Hello, Nick. Good to see you. Dave. Hope you're cooking your dinner well, mate. Hello, Steve. Good to see you again, mate. Ian's back. Hello, Ian. And Nick saying he's digging the intro. So thanks, mate. Thanks very much. Very much appreciated. As I said, for those that follow the account on Twitter, I did say I was making a few little subtle adjustments, and I've put this back up here again as well. So just to make it sure that it's a little bit more obvious to what's going on. Len's back saying, hey, GP, good. Ben says he likes the intro. Thank you very much, mate. Much appreciated. Ben says that's what sisters are for, bruv. I wouldn't know, son. Mine's 300 miles away. But yeah, guys, as I said, this is an open forum, so you can ask me any question at any point. But I also want you to answer the questions that I put to you as well. Now, first and foremost, guys, a bit of You guys know I like to have a bit of a joke every now and again. And I saw one of the funniest things I saw on WHU earlier today. To be honest, I've been reading the website a lot more than I usually do. But it's confirmed that after 39 years, 11 months and 7 days, we have actually finally won a trophy. West Ham are officially the Subbuteo 2020 Cup winners. Now, guys, how does this rank with you? Let me know how this ranks with you. Steve says logo mate would make a nice badge. Love the intro. Thanks, mate. Yeah, it does. Well, it's on all the club, the channel shop gear, mates. If you want to go and check it out in the description below there, Steve. Go check out the club shop stuff. The channel shop stuff. Obviously, after this broadcast is done. But guys, what do you think about us being the 2020 Subbuteo Cup winners? Where does that rank with you in the titles we've won? Ben says just above the Intertoto Cup, then, or as I knew it, Ben, when I was growing up, for reasons can't really remember. I always knew it as the Away Day Cup, but yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean, mate. Dave says he's buzzing. So while the rest of you guys are coming to your conclusions on that, it was brilliant to see that Mikel Antonio confirmed that Spurs' redeveloped Shite Hart Lane is his most preferred away ground. In actual fact, he says it's his favourite away ground. So, guys, all tongue in cheek aside, because it's great because obviously what happened last season and we've not been able to see it again this season. Let me know what your favourite away ground is. I was asked this question a few days ago, but I'm interested to see what your favourite away ground is as well, for that matter. So by all means, guys, please let me know. So guys, all tongue in cheek. Robert Singleton, hello mate, welcome. Good to see you again. Let me know what your favourite away ground is, mate. Let me know what your favourite away ground is, because that's the question at the moment. So while we're waiting for everybody else to come in, it was interesting to see that Pellegrini is the favourite to be the next Fenerbahce manager when the pandemic is finally over. Not a bad appointment, to be honest with you. I mean, he was really, really thrown under the bus a lot of the time. Come back to it in a second. Nick says Everton Stadium. Yeah, I can see why Goodison's a good place for you, mate. Dave says, but Barnsley got there at 10 a.m. Old Bill took us to a good boozer and got slaughtered before kickoff. There were drunk policemen in Barnsley. Hey up, lad. Ben says, QPR on Craven Cottage. Elland Road is a great football stadium. Right, so which one? Which is your favourite out of those three, mate? But yeah, as I say, for Pellegrini, let me know your thoughts on this as to what. I mean, more looking at the bigger picture, I should say. What, in your personal opinion, guys, what was your thoughts on the reasons why Pellegrini's time was cut very, very short? Dave said, always enjoyed Millwall for different reasons. Oh my God, Dave, knowing you, mate, I dread to think. I really, really dread to think. Miles says, I was really looking forward to West Ham beating Spurs again. Miles, please try and answer one question. Nick says, or Craven Cottage. Steve said, when I could go Villa Park and Shrewsbury Town's old gay meadow ground on the River Severn, very picturesque. Ben's finally made his mind up and he said Elland Road. Darren, good evening, mate. And good morning. A cup is a cup. Now they have to open our trophy cabinet. It's been a while. Nick says he lost all the players. He was a dead man walking for about 2 months. Yeah, it was a real shame because I had a lot of time for Pellegrini. And I said right from the start when it was the day before that it was officially announced that this is a short to medium term appointment, and I was right. And from that point of view, I hate being right under those sort of circumstances, but yeah, I did. I was worried because I thought he could do us a lot. He could have done us a lot of good. Dave says Pellegrini just wasn't going to work, and we're not a top side. Mixed mess. Hello, mate. Good to see you. But yeah, so I'm guessing everyone else is getting the notification say, "Oh, I've gone live 8 minutes ago." The beauty that is YouTube, guys. I've been looking over the stats over the last 4 weeks, and everything still remains exactly the same. There's 18 people watching at the moment. There's only 4 or 5 people actually talking. There's also, for that matter, there's over the last 4 weeks, 2/3 of the viewers that have been watching have been are not subscribed. So please do consider hitting the subscribe button if you want to know more. Because I say, while we're in lockdown, and basically until we can get our lives back to normal, this will be the content every single evening at 6:30, give or take, for the foreseeable future until we all can get back to our normal lives. So, guys, by all means, please do hit the subscribe button, because at the end of the day, this channel's had mental amount of views over the last 4 weeks. It was something like 3,000 and something. Let me just double check the details on it here. 3,806. So 2,400 odd of you are not subscribed. So even if half of you hit that, you'll literally double the subscriber count that it currently is, and therefore you get to get the live concert. But doesn't seem anybody wants to do that. Jay says, "Evening, Governor. Hello, mate. Pelly was just too prehistoric, and one up top not good." But, yeah, unknown driller. Good evening, mate. Will Issa Diop go to Spurs with Mourinho, in your opinion? No, I don't think he will. I don't see Spurs being able to afford it, for one, because they were cheekily trying to get money off the government. I can't see him get. There's all clubs are going to be very, very tight at the minute, unfortunately. And West Ham's going to be even worse. And likewise, yes, they will be using that as an excuse. Dave Up said, "Hands up! I've given football a wide berth just lately." But yeah, exactly, mate. Well, this is the thing. We're not. There is no football. So, but this channel's still going. So come on every night, mate. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Wet spam. Well, Beats. Well, I can't wait for football to start, mate. Much less for anything else. Fat Frank. Len, I think it's because he wouldn't change his style of play enough. It just seemed like his mind was somewhere else the last couple of months. Len, that is a very, very good point. Very good point. I agree, certainly with the lack of the latter side of that. Yeah, I think he was under too much pressure from the board and he wasn't getting the results. And I know like every manager says when the window closes, yeah, we've got a good enough squad. But I said originally, no, I don't think that was the case, and unfortunately, it was borne out. Robert, any chance you could put up a ticker tape across the screen with questions asked for those logging in late? No, because it's the title, live chat, open Q&A. It's not a big ask, mate. To be honest with you, Bob Tottenham can't afford anyone. Unknown Driller says, I'm gutted we missed out on Jedson Fernandez in January. Okay, fair enough. Darren's obviously rewind it to the beginning. Priestfield Stadium in Gillingham is his favourite. PB, hello, mate. Good to see you. Hope you're doing all right. Nathaniel James, welcome. Who should be England captain, Harry Kane or Jordan Henderson? I still think it should stay as Kane. I really still think it should stay. But guys, answer Nathaniel's question. See what he says. See what I'm interested in saying in that. Henderson's a good shout, but with Kane as captain, we're doing all right. So I'm happy. I'm quite happy with that. Now this is interesting that I was reading earlier today. Rumors coming out mostly from the Sunday Express, so you can't really take it with too much gumption, shall we say? That Allaire could, and I mean could, as in possibility, not certainty, that could be sold to raise funds for Mitsu Batshuayi, I should say. So, guys, what do you think about that? I know this broke over the last couple of days. Garage Football. Hello, Bill. Good to see you, mate. Stick with Kane. He's done a great job so far. Agreed. 100%. So it looks like Beats Box Dre Beats is trying to gum from people with very, very obvious things everybody else already knows. But also apparently we are linked to bringing in Jovic as well. So I'm trying to fathom which one of these two rumors are true. Now you know me, guys. I don't like to mix it up with when it comes to rumors. But Len, totally good point. Didn't he turn us down already? Yes, twice or 3 times, if I remember correctly. It's something like that. Darren says not. Nick says, I hope we keep Allaire. He's going to flourish under the right system. Agreed. Darren says, not rewinding, just babysitting. Ben is answering and said, Rice plays for West Ham now. Don't care if he's a Chelsea fan. Joe Carl was a Chelsea fan when he played for us. Jovic ain't stopping from Real Madrid to West Ham. Yeah, well, apparently we're heavily linked with him, so that'd be interesting. Dave's good point. Jovic is a bit slow. So is Allaire. Fo, hello, mate. Or should I say good afternoon? I think. Where are you? Yeah. No, actually, California, you said it's still good morning. Nick says that's if Jovic isn't in jail. Mick Smith, rumors, exactly, mate. Yeah. But this has been going around for at least a week and a half. So it's just and this is the we've got another troll in the house. What again? Once again. I mean, I can actually trace you, mate. So get a life. Yeah, but as I say, I mean, this has been going around, Mick, for a little while now. It really, really has. Um, and but I hope you're keeping all right, Mick. You and the family. I hope you're all right. Len says, yeah, I like how Allaire played with Antonio next to him. Yep. Gary Page, yes, mate, you are late, but better late than never. Dave, totally. Two slow players don't make a quick one. Agreed. Beats Box Dre Beats says only club in London with the European Cup. That's not actually strictly speaking true, mate. If you do your research, if you know anything about football. Hi Ben, how you keeping, mate? From Foe. Trace me down. No, Dave, just no. This isn't. Let that idiot just have his talk. He's not doing anybody any harms. He's not slagging anybody off. He's just giving it Billy Big Bollocks. I can't remember what my seat feels like, mate. Gary, I know what you mean. Right, who's the better manager, Mourinho or David Moyes? Come on. It's Moyes all day long, Nathaniel. What's wrong with you, son? Nah, of course it's Mourinho. Bloody hell, Gary, what's been going on with you, son? Feels. Players will need to be shifted to do any business. Agreed, Mick. So who are you gonna who would you sell if possible? Because I can't see us having any luck selling foreign players unless it's back to the native countries, especially with what's been going on recently. So Mick, by all means, mate, let us know what you who you'd get rid of. Nick says Pellegrini or Slav or Pellegrini. But yeah, it's big Slav, super Slav, always, mate, always. Vo says Moyes all day, better win ratio at Man United. Nick says sell Anderson. Vo says Slav, so he agrees with me. Unknown Driller, would you take Payet back now? I would. He's the best as a fan I've enjoyed since Joe Cole. Fair enough, mate. I wouldn't because he's too disruptive and too much of an ego. But yeah, there we go. So Slav all day long. Darren says Slav as well as does Dave. Foe says keep Anderson. All right, Foe, for what reason? Ignoring FIFA stats, real life, for what reason? Foshizi recalled Big George. He's trying to bring the Walsh. Nick says, mate, I think we would sign Zaracho from Argentina. He's young enough and very talented. I don't know who he is, mate. I'll have a look at that, and I'll do that for the next video. Zaracho. Let me just make a note of that. Note made. How good would Mourinho be if he came to West Ham and had a David Moyes budget? Well, that's the point. Yeah, it's a very, very good point. Dave says, sell Anderson. Again, give your reasons why, mate. Ben asks, what's your favourite film? It's Jurassic Park all day long. The very, very first one that came out in '93. Absolutely brilliant movie. And Ben, just to be Ben, don't recall Big George. Now, apparently, I was reading earlier today that there's was it a WHU Gill from Sunderland that apparently has been monitored by Spurs and one other team. I can't remember who. Mick Smith says Fredericks, Masuaku, whoops a daisy, Roberto, but I'd give Anderson another season. Fair enough, mate. I see your point. I can see your point there. Yeah, I can see your point. That's I mean, it's a shame about Fredericks because I think he's good, but as I mentioned when I did the talks with when I talked with big Wally World, that he's just too injury prone, unfortunately. But that's West Ham all over. Not Dave says not consistent, goes missing a lot, worth a few quid as an apparent and is apparently wanted. He is. You're right. He is inconsistent. He's definitely not consistent. You're completely right. Whereas Foe completely disagrees. He said best ball carrier at the club. Yeah, I've seen him pick it up like a master. One of the few creative players at the club. That I agree with. That I do agree with. Gary says, when you are allowed out, what is the first thing you're going to do? Go to the pub, man, if they're open. It's interesting to see that Wetherspoons are apparently going to be open next month. We're trying to open next month. But yeah, man, go have a pint. Have a pint. Dave says, agree with Fredericks. He's going. He's back up now. Ben says, been watching Sunderland till I die. Quite depressing to watch. Slightly, it is, Ben. It's a hard watch. Steve, before you ask, I finished watching the Premier League Behind the Badge with West Brom. It's really, really good TV series, and I can understand exactly why you've enjoyed that. I've also literally started today watching All or Nothing, the Man City documentary, done in a very, very similar style. So it's quite entertaining to watch. John, can you really believe any of these player club rumors? I wouldn't take much notice of them. I don't, Jay, but this is why this is a public forum. I want you guys' opinions on things, because at the end of the day, we are monitoring players, of course, up until end of February, beginning of March. But as I say, it's an open forum, so I'm asking you guys these questions. Bill said he wouldn't sell Anderson unless we got a big offer. Annoyingly inconsistent, but when playing well, he's one of the best players outside the top six. Yes, agreed, mate. And that you're absolutely spot on. As I said, very, very inconsistent. But when he does switch it on, like Lanzini, who's in the same sort of realm. Anyone seen Away from Home yet? Not yet, Dave. Maybe somebody has. Foe agrees with Bill completely. Mick says, think our youth will play a big part next season. So do I, Mick. But this is thank you very much for that, mate, because you've brought me on quite nicely to the second part of the question I was going to ask you guys. Where are we? Get my notes back up again. Because for some reason they've just crashed. Now, the problem is I was reading an article earlier today that showed that the Premier League 2 might not go down the same route of whatever is going to happen with the Premier League itself. Because there is a good chance that West Ham Premier League 2 team aren't going to get promoted. But obviously, Brighton CEO Paul Barber has said that he feels that playing in neutral venues has potential to have a material effect on the integrity of the competition, and I agree with him 100%. Yet apparently, there's been some backtracking at West Ham once again, because apparently, if the neutral venues are going to go ahead, then it is going to destroy all the integrity of the competition. But those who don't have integrity are well up for this, including the West Ham board. But apparently, it's also they've actually retracted, saying no, don't do it. Probably because West Ham won't make any money because it won't be deemed as a West Ham game. So yet again, all to do with money. All to do with money. Darren. Oh, hang on. Darren, I think Anderson is a lightweight and inconsistent. Nick says, mate, I want to watch O'Neill from Sunderland. I don't know whether he's any good, but he seems nice from Sunderland till I die. Ben says he watched it on Amazon. Dave, the Man City one, enjoyed it. Oh, okay. So yeah, watching Amazon, the Man City one, enjoyed it. Unknown driller, get rid of Frederick, could not cross a road, just runs around like a blue ass fly. To a degree, yes. To a degree, I can see the reason why he's saying that. Ben Pep is a beast in that documentary. Thanks for the spoiler, Foe. Yeah, he doesn't hold back, Pep. Yeah. Dave, I meant the West Ham one regarding the stadium move. Nathaniel James, West Ham seem to play better away from home than at the Fish Bowl. Can't wait for the Spurs Amazon documentary, though. Will be interesting to see the meltdown and what Jose is like. Yeah, good point, actually. One thing, do you know what? I was thinking about this earlier. No, I don't know if having a West Ham documentary, because it looks like they're all going to try it at some point, get the vanity thing, get a few more bucks in and all that sort of stuff. I don't think that's going to be a very good idea. I really don't, because it seems to be, with the exception of City, it seems to be a bit of a curse on clubs. West Brom had the behind the cameras from the next season. They were relegated. Sunderland were documenting their fight to get back to the Premier League from the Championship and got relegated, and obviously couldn't get back to the Championship with it. And as I said, it's as great as the Sunderland Till I Die program was. It's just, yeah, it's a hard watch. It is a hard watch, and I really think, I really think it wouldn't be as beneficial for. It'd be very very beneficial from a club money point of view, but it wouldn't be beneficial for the rest of it. Nathaniel says Leeds too. Yes, apparently there is a Leeds program out there somewhere, mate. I can't remember the name of it, but I'm sure one of these guys are going to say it. Steve says, I would like to see more behind the scenes at West Ham. I wouldn't, because it's just all going to be spin to make us look like idiots. That's why I'm not looking forward to it to happen. I'm interested to see what happens in the changing rooms and all that sort of stuff, but it's going to be spin to make out that the protests are absolutely just completely pointless. And that's what really worries me about it. It's a great concept, absolutely great concept. But I just think I just don't think it's a very good idea. I really don't. Now, guys, as I said, it's just the target. The target. If you guys want to hear me play my guitar and stuff, that the target is 1,600 to get to 1,600 subscribers, which is 72 within the next week. It's not going to happen. So unfortunately, because we can't seem to smash through that 1530 limit. So guys, by all means, please do share this content once this is over as well, for that matter. Ben asks, do you see Sky Sports and BT being in financial strife? No, absolutely not. With the lack of sport, they surely will. BT certainly won't, because BT, for those who are under the age of 20, stands for British Telecom. Now, Sky won't have it, because Sky won't go bust because of their advertising revenue that they get in all the time. BT won't go bust because of their advertising revenue, plus all the money that they get from BT, because there's a lot of British Telecom customers out there, remember. And if you have Sky, for example, you have to have a BT line. Not so much nowadays, but they still recommend it. It's still part of the package that BT line has to be going. So that therefore the Open Reach company is still going. It's a lot more intrinsical than people think. It's not like just the BBC or ITV or Channel 4. They are literally going to have a lot of monies available. Beats Box Stray Beats says, a banter aside, which is really poor banter, do you think Rice gets hated on by other fans who don't watch West Ham because he's overrated all the time? I personally rate him. Spot on there, mate. Completely spot on. Reason being is because I said this a few days ago. Jamie Carragher went on record to say how much he rates Declan Rice. He is overrated because players that don't see it think he's overrated. I love the kid. I've been saying for a long time how much I admire and respect the kid. He's only 20 and he's playing like he's been playing in the Premier League for 10 years. He's an absolute beast of a player, a real shining light for England and the Premier League for that matter. I think when people actually take more time to watch games, they will realise how much of a good player Declan Rice is. But you're absolutely right, mate. They only see what's on. They only see what's on Match of the Day. Len 3 says, why does the press hate West Ham so much? It's because we're a working class club, even though we're not that working class anymore. And we've been poorly run. It's as simple as that, mate. Unfortunately, Darren says no need for documentary. We've got Canning Town, Len. Good point there, Bill. Says to Len, getting a cheap stadium at the expense of the taxpayers, terrible owners. Yeah, and also for that matter, don't forget Spurs. Spurs is partly funded by the taxpayer, and they were trying to get the taxpayers' money out of the government not that long ago either. Let's not forget that. It's their local council have a part stake in their ground, which means it's being paid by the taxpayer. Everybody who lives in around the same borough is paying for the stadium. Let's not forget that. Unknown driller, Willian wants to stay in London, a free agent in the summer, and is past 30 on inflated wages. Welcome to West Ham, son. Do you know what? I wouldn't put it past them. I would not put it past them. The West Ham fan, hello, mate. Do you know Barry Johnson? He's interested. Mate, you keep saying this. You've not explained who he is under any circumstances. Dave says about Rice because they're too good for Chelsea. Nick says thoughts on Premier League being in Australia. Sorry, yeah. Thoughts on Premier League possibly being in Australia. Corruption, ridiculous story. I don't know who on earth created this pathetic thing. It's stupid. Why on earth would you go literally 3/4 of the way around the world to play games? It just makes no sense. It's no sense. It's a lazy story, which is why I've not spoken about it at all. Nathaniel James said, would you rather get to the Champions League final with West Ham and lose the game or win the Carabao Cup at Wembley? Get to the Champions League final, man. 100%. I mean, it'd be nice to have a League Cup, don't get me wrong. But I don't know. Well, yes, it's tricky because it's. Yeah, I'd say it's Champions League final because at least we'd have the memories. But I mean, the Carabao Cup would be great because it pretty much pushes you into the qualifying rounds of Europa, if I remember correctly. Unless the rules are sorry, no, that's the FA Cup, isn't it? It's the FA Cup. Because I know when we lost the FA Cup, we got into the Europa qualifier rounds when we had Tevez and Mascherano. That game was weird. That was just the strangest thing. We'd signed them like 4 days beforehand. Mascherano was on the bench. Tevez started that game, and you could see that nobody knew what the hell he was going to be doing at all. That was a very, very strange one. But good question then, Nathaniel. That's a very, very tough question to answer. Very, very tough. Now this is something I've been thinking about for a good few days, about more from the monetary side of things. Oh no, a few more questions coming in. Bill says win the Carabao Cup. Dave says win the League Cup and qualify for Europe. I thought there was a qualifying part in there. Nick says get to the Champions League final. Ben, he consistently performing at a high level. Declan Rice. I've not seen many 20-year-olds play it as well as he does at West Ham. I'm even putting Carrick, Lampard, and Joe Cole in the same bracket there. Not a bad shout there, Ben. To be honest with you, mate, not a bad shout. I can see why you're thinking about that. Unknown Driller says trophies over memories for me. League Cup, yeah. All right, yeah, I see the point. As I say, it's a very, very tricky question. Very, very tricky question. I personally, I still say the Champions League final. But as a West Ham supporter, all I've got is memories. Unfortunately. But yeah, so as I said, guys, with the sponsorship, now, because as we all know, not just with Premier League clubs, but Championship, League One, etc., etc. They all have quite a few sponsors. I mean, for example, West Ham, have got, was it 22 sponsors? Now let's just, that obviously implies that is part of the income. So how are the how's that going to affect the clubs, guys? Let me know what you're thinking of it, because how can they sponsor things that aren't happening? Yeah, how can they sponsor the match ball? Sometimes even that's ridiculous. We have a match ball. Fo, yeah, Fo, thanks for clearing it up for me, mate. Yeah, League Cup qualifies for Europa League. Mix says Champions League all day long. Dave says I have cup winning memories. I know you do, mate, but not for my generation, I'm afraid. But yeah, so guys, let me know what you're thinking about the income stream for all clubs. You know, because obviously, you know, we know that Bassett and Gold went bust recently, dodgy trading company. You know, but we've got like Betway. You know, what are they going to say? What else is it? We've also got Kissy Me. How are they going to be able to get the sponsorship? Bearing in mind that they can't open their resort at the moment. Who else has got? You know, Roll London, the watch company. All right, maybe a few people are buying watches here and there, but guys, let me know what your thoughts are on this when it comes to the sponsors, because that's obviously another side of it as well. But you don't see, this is the thing, you don't see any sponsor companies saying, no, get the Premier League done. We want to get our money's worth. Don't see that. That's the interesting thing about it. It just purely, you don't see cricket harping on about it. You know, we talked about the tennis last night. Gio made a very, very good point of saying that he was, you know, that the Wimbledon was already insured and they got a payout for it. But you know, the Formula One are looking to try and potentially start the Formula One at the Austrian Grand Prix in July. Darren says, not another cup. We've just won the Subbuteo Cup. Nick's wife says, top 5 championship players. Mate, I don't have them. I don't watch the championship, I'm afraid, but I'm sure these guys will. Sure, those that are watching along will be able to answer that. I so badly want to play cricket again. I think it means, mate, I'm so badly want to play cricket again. And fair play, your son. It's a boring bloody sport as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, I see the point, 100%. Hello, Bex. Good to see you. Hope you're keeping all right. Yeah, I thought you said mate before you meant mate. Last time we won the cup in 1980, I was 17. So you're 17 years older than me. I'm now 56. Barring one cup final since we have not had a sniff. Give me the League Cup any day. The brilliant fans deserve a cup win. Yeah, I agree with that, Steve. You know, I can see that. I see the point on that one. Ben Davis says Hugo isn't in the top 100 there. And here we go straight away. Another one trying to recall the Walsh, recall Big George or recall Big George in this instance. But yeah. But guys, honestly, let me know what you're thinking about the sponsors. I mean, have you even considered what the sponsors could be? How badly that they could be. They could be. Actually, good point. Too, actually, as we played Liverpool in the 81 League Cup. That's true. We got beaten by them in the League Cup. So while hopefully you guys are thinking about that question, and it also comes around to about the financial implications of the Premier League. You know, because will we ever see a Premier League again? With football being potentially suspended until maybe January, as it's all been rumours have been talking about, especially when it comes to gate money. Do you honestly think? Do you think that maybe the Premier League and the Sky Bet Championship won't have the money to sustain themselves, and we go back to the old days of a League One and a League Two, League Three, League Four instead of Premier League, Championship, League One, League Two? Guys, let me know your thoughts on that. Personally, I would love to have it back to the old days of a good old thing. I really, really would. Okay, don't know why that's just loaded up. Unknown Driller asks Klopp or Pep. Very good question there, fella. Very, very good question. They both have very good personalities in different ways. For me personally, it's Pep. Even though I can't understand the bloke a lot of the time because he still speaks pretty quickly, and I know I speak pretty quickly. But yeah. But Klopp for personality, but Pep for he just edges it for me, and Klopp for Bex, and that's fine. Ben says Pep as well. Beats Box Stray Beats says, if you want your club to make signings, you should want the season completed. Well, I don't want the season completed if it's going to affect people's lives, mate. I don't give a monkeys about what happens to the football if people are still going to continue to die. Cheeseburger, I like that Cheeseburger. Greetings from Glasgow, Scotland, up the Glasgow Rangers. Welcome, mate. Good to see you. Nick's just asked. I don't know why he's asked the same thing. He says Pep. Where are we? Loads of people getting in now, which is cool. John Duffy, good evening, mate. Hope you're doing all right. Interesting AVI there, fella. David says Klopp. Yeah, I still got on Jax and understand the accent of yours, JP. Yeah, all right, Bex. Whatever. Cheeseburger, are you trolling me? Because if you are, this is your warning straight away, because I don't have the coronavirus, as fake accounts have been saying. David said, didn't buy anyone and still improved, so Klopp. Don Duffy said, solidarity from Scotland, brother. I hope you are staying safe. I am, thank you. And eating loads of box. What's box? Yeah, Ollie Watkins, my RDU strike partner with Allaire, says Nick. You say that, but then you'll be the first to complain if the board spends nothing on transfers in the summer. You've not been watching my channel at all, mate, have you? Beck says we can actually make signings, whether GSB will or not is another matter. Exactly. Kemi Coker says, I think it's going to be at least a year before anything significant happens in football. Agreed, Kemi, 100%. Good to see you again. Ben says, Klopp's big teeth I find scary. Ben says his teeth are magnificent. Says Bex. G-Burger's not a troll. Fair enough. But as I say, I just we'll just wait, give him some chance, because I know John's asking for that, but just give him some chance. Voshi says rock and roll football. Yeah. Kemi says, I saw that we were interested in Jovic. We were talking about this earlier, mate. We were talking about this earlier, and for those that were talking about it, it just seems to be that he's too slow. So I get it, 100%. Because unlike the majority of the country, I understand what democracy means. If the majority say that he's a too slow player, then he's a too slow a player. Ben says, I feel if I even ever met him, I would be worried he would try to take a bite out of me. Okie dokie. Cheeseburger asks, how much would you sell Allaire for? That's a very good question, because apparently, as we were talking about early in the program, that he's up for sale for £40 million. Trying to so already taking a bit of a loss. But no, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think it's fair or respectful, for that matter, to say that we should be selling him already, because he hasn't had a full season yet. I maintain it straight away. He's got the ability there. We all know it, but he needs a proper run out. So hopefully, if we do get another season next season, then we'll see what happens. John Duffy asks, what do you think about baked beans with mayonnaise on them? Would you bang it or no? Never had it, mate, to be honest. But no, that doesn't sound very nice. Nick, thank you very much. It would be stupid to sell her there. Agreed. Darren says typical West Ham stuff. Surely we can make it one in, one out transfers. It's going to be very difficult for us to get foreign players, mate. I guarantee it's going to be difficult. Because A, the Premier League's not going to have much, the clubs in general aren't going to have a lot of money, and B, foreign players aren't going to want to leave their families. They just won't. Rebecca asks, baked beans and mayo is a shocking combination. Why? John, do you think they should swap health workers' wages with footballers' wages? 100%. God, yes. God, yes. Yeah, let them have 30 grand. Let the footballers have 30 grand a year, and let the it's not even that, is it? It's like 25, 26 grand a year, and let the footballers, but yeah, totally, man, 100%. Swap them over. Kemi says, I don't buy into any transfer talk at the moment, especially the way things are. Agreed, Kemi, but these have been floating around since just end of December. Dave says, give him a regular partner up front, then judge LA. Spot on. Beck says, LA shouldn't be sold. It'd be a mistake. Agreed. Jovic is not slow, in my opinion. However, he's not ready for a stage like Real Madrid. Chewburger says baked beans with curry powder, brown sauce, and cheese. God, bloody hell! It's got to be a Scotland thing. It really has to be a Scotland thing. Ben says about Allaire, he says keep him. He needs a strike partner. Let you got one warning there, mate, because that's not relevant to the conversation. Yes, Cheeseburger bro, sounds banging, bro. I think we should be friends. Okie dokie. Foe says Allaire is a baller, or maybe it's meant to be Allaire is a ballet, possibly. I'll leave John and Cherry to talk to themselves. But guys, as I said, this is a open Q&A. So any more questions you want to ask me? Now, this is something interesting that I want to get your opinions on. Again, the Daily Mirror, so you can't really take it with much gumption, again, should we say, or much. But anyway, they said apparently there is one undisclosed club in the Premier League that have given the option to their players to opt out of Project Restart. Now, is this the smartest thing in football that we've heard for the last couple of months? Do you think that teams within the Premier League and SBL, for these guys for that matter, or all football clubs for that matter, across every league across all countries, should give the players a chance to say if they're in or out of restarting the league, I should say, because obviously Aguero and Glenn Murray and quite a few other current football players at the moment said that, and not of course, not forgetting Creswell, of course. They all said that they're not going to. They're not good. They are worried about restarting football. So guys, let me know what your thoughts are on it. John Duffy asks thoughts on David Ike. I don't know who that person is, but let's see who if anybody else is. Ben says good goalkeeper. Rebecca says David X is a lizard, just saying. Hi Harrison. Hope you're keeping well, mate. Hope you have had a good weekend. The man who changes his AVI more times than Karen Brady retracts her statements. Nick says maybe, mate, I think we should sign Dean Henderson. That's an interesting one. I wouldn't say no to that. I've been very, very impressed with him at Sheffield United. Not bad in any shape or form. Foshizi says, come on. Foshizi says David Icke is hilarious. Fo says his lizard theories are funny. Rebecca says, I feel like that players will be. I feel like that players would be overall by their clubs, even if they don't want to play. There's a possibility they could be fined for not doing it. Bob Fozy says Bob Lazar. Now that's a conversation. Again, that's not a name that I know too well. Fo says it's interesting. Beck says sorry, Fo. It is interesting, mad but interesting. Robert Agresco, hello mate, good to see you. What happens to football once a player catches the virus? Teams going into quarantine, then what happens to their season? Exactly, so that's the whole point. Won't make sure that everybody's fit and well. Billy from says Dean Henderson would be brilliant, but he'll most likely replace De Gea as Man United's number one. Mate, yeah, I can see it. I can absolutely see it. Chewburger says, are you cutting your own hair during lockdown? Yes, I am. Yeah, as you can see, it's not brilliant at the moment, but it's longer than it was this time last week. That's for sure. Nick White Thompson, do you think Noble will ever get a chance for? I'm guessing that's England because it's come out as a black flag, but I'm guessing it's England. No, it's too long and gone now, unfortunately. And Rebecca says the same thing. No, not now. He's too old for the squad, unfortunately. Ben Davis says he's mad as a box of frogs. Beck says about Noble, I think he did deserve it, though. Everyone's saying hello to each other. Try and have a bit of respect in the chat, please, guys. I know you're new to the channel, but just have respect with each other. Ben Davis says, which players do you think will be certain to go into the Premier League Hall of Fame? Di Canio, definitely. Rio, Lampard, possibly Wayne Rooney. Any of the class of 96, really. Yeah, too many to mention, Ben. Really, really too many to mention. Henry's back. Hello, mate. Clubs are saying players will not be forced to play. John, you're putting a timeout, mate, for what you're for what you've been saying. You got a few minutes to think about what you're doing, mate. Billy says Noble should have gone to Euro 16. Too late for him now. Agreed, 100%. Rebecca says agreed. 15-16 Noble should have got a call up. Yeah, Nick agrees as well. Oh yes, good point there, Bill. Shearer, Henry, Roy Keane. Honestly, mate, the list is absolutely endless. It's possibly Sergio Aguero as well for being Man City's highest ever goal scorer now, because he smashed that target, that table a few days ago. Don't worry, Jewburger, he's in timeout for the minute, so see what happens. But Dave, if you're watching, can you monitor John Duffy's comments, please, mate? And likewise, Harrison, if you're still here, please. Robert Agresto says sad Nobes didn't get the call up. Yeah, agreed, mate. Agreed. Would have been absolutely well worth it. Now, this one's been one's been playing on my mind for a good few days as well, for that matter. Well, these next two questions have been playing on my mind, but this now I've been quite a quite a fan of Jesse Lingard for a good few seasons. I think he's a quality player. I don't think he's reached his full potential yet. But apparently we, Newcastle and Everton and Leicester, are also targeting him. Which football club? Because it's obvious that he's gonna leave Man United at some point. Which football club do you reckon Jesse Lingard should actually go to next? Let me know your thoughts on this while we read out some more of the comments. Robbie shouldn't have been overlooked, and I generally think if he'd moved around and not stuck at West Ham, he'd have got the chance. Agreed, Bex, 100% on that. Ben says, agreed, Garrett football gigs is one of the best all time as well. Yeah, he'll definitely get, Kemi, yep, Silver, Cole. Foshisi says, hell no to Lingard and go to Everton. I honestly don't think he's being used right at Man U. I really, really don't think he has been used correctly. Same with Damari Gray. He's a player that I would absolutely love to have playing for us. I really, really do. And the last question I want to ask you guys, while you're postulating on that, is in an article in the Telegraph yesterday, it claims that managers and players could, and I emphasize again, could, so it's not a definite, could be interviewed mid-match in an effort to appease the broadcasters in relation to the broadcasting rights. What do you think of this, guys? I can't think about it. I just know. I think it's just, this is another sort of NFL attitude, which I don't want to see in the football in any shape or form. Nick says about Lingard, no to Lingard. Did you go to Sunderland or Accrington Stanley? Beck says no to Lingard. Nick agrees with me. I'd love Damari Gray. Darren, yeah, Lingard is too old now. Sorry, how old is Lingard now? He's 24, 25, I think. 24, 25. Henry Richards, please, not West Ham. He is shit. But guys, what do you think about players and managers being more? Well, I'm guessing it's going to be club captains. So Noble being interviewed halfway through the first half, like for example, if it's going to be, I'm guessing again this is going to be for the behind closed doors thing. But let me know on your thoughts on this, guys, before we wrap things up. Nick says he's 26 still, top youth prospect. Yeah. Rebecca says, what? That's ridiculous. No, we don't need halftime interviews. Agreed. It's mid-match as well, for that matter. It's not just halftime, it's mid-match. Bill says he's 27. So fair enough. Accrington Stanley, who are they? Len says, we don't need the players to be interviewed. If there's football this year, then the match itself is enough. Yep. But it's a bit of a weird one, no matter what. It's a bit of an absolute weird one. Darren says for Lingard, it's a no from him. So that's all my things that I wanted to talk about, guys. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? As I say, it's an open Q&A. It doesn't have to be about football. And we're coming to the end of the whole hour now. 25 minutes as far as Rebecca's concerned, but the rest of us, it's been an hour. So should we leave it there by the looks of it? Nick would say he would love Ramsdale. Len asks, why not just interview them via live stream an hour or so after the match and make that its own show? Very, very good point there, Len. I like that. Very, very good idea. Beck says, I mean, it'd be interesting if they just interviewed players while they were playing. Team would be down at 10 men. I can't see any manager agreeing to that under any circumstances whatsoever. Foe says, we need young, ambitious players, not cast-offs. Agreed, 100%. But guys, thank you very, very much for your time. We've had the hour now, so thank you guys. It's been brilliant to talk to you as always. There is, unfortunately, what I was going to say, if we had a bit more of a fluid conversation tonight, especially with those that have been asking for it, was that if we'd have hit 1530 subscribers tonight, I was gonna sing you guys a song, but we haven't, unfortunately. So Darren says, "How'd you like your eggs done?" Scrambled, mate, like my brain. Thanks, mate. Good night. Have a good one. Sleep well. Robert says players should have mics on them so we get a real team feed. That would be funny. That would be funny. Rob, yes, none of this mouth covering. Yeah, agreed, 100%. But guys, thank you very, very much for your time. If you're new around here, welcome. And Henry says on the team bus. Interview on the team bus. Yeah. Well, I said the mark would be 1600 by this time next week. Doesn't look like it's going to happen because nobody's helping get the channel spread out there. So, guys, thank you very much for your time. Nick, don't make any bot accounts. I say we need, but it needs to be organic growth. We need 72 as it stands at the minute. So 72 in a week's not going to happen. I haven't even had 72 in a fortnight for a year and a half. So that's not going to happen. But guys, thank you very, very much for your time. And I will leave you with one final thought with this. So guys, enjoy your evening. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. And I'll see you tomorrow evening.